welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a bit of a job on the Himalayan. The front wheel bearings are getting a bit rough, so I think I've got time. I'm going to take them out, replace them, but I'm going to put Timken bearings in, good quality bearings that should last a lot longer than these are. Right, I'll get the camera down here and we'll get started. What we need to do first is I've jacked the bike up. I put a stand under my crash bar so it takes the weight off the wheel for us. What we then need to do is undo this pinch bolt. This pinch bolt under here, which is a 6mm Allen key. Just slacken it off. Don't need to take it out. That enables us to be able to slide this out of the clamp. This is a 16mm spanner size. And the nut is 24, I believe. Yes, 24. So just undo that. Let's put this down so you can see what we're doing. Right. What you then need, 4mm Allen key. I should take the ABS sensor off. Basically, so when you're pulling the wheel out, you're not going to catch the tip of the ABS sensor. That just slides out of there. Just a little thing while we're doing it. I'd already moved mine. When it comes from the factory, I don't know why they do it, they route theirs round there, like that. That's how it comes from the factory. Now the problem is, if you're off-road, you're going to catch that, aren't you? So I put mine the other side. It sits in here. So if you're off-road, nothing's going to grab the wire and pull this out. So just let that dangle behind. Then need 12mm socket. I'm going to undo the caliper. It is possible to get the wheel past it. But it's a bit of messing about and you could end up scratching the rims as it comes past the caliper. So it's just as easy to take it off. This down again. Just to ease it off the disc. I just put a bungee cord or something just to take the weight. Like that. That should do it, just keeps it out of the way. Right. Next job, just take the weight of the wheel and slide the spindle out. Should come out pretty good. Pull the sensor off there, just wheel the wheel out. There's a spacer the other side, take that off. Right, take the wheel to the bench. Oh. Okay. Right. All these filters have just had arrive. Right. In the back of here, this shows the wheel bearing. Well, not that wheel bearing, this way. In here, there's a seal. We'll pick that seal out first, and then we'll be knocking that bearing this way. And in the middle, there's a spacer. Right. This should come out pretty easy. Yeah, just like that. You should get it out without any damage, so I will reuse that again. Yeah, it's actually this bearing I can feel a bit rough, so we'll get them. Right, I'm going to knock the bearings out of the wheel now. I sat the wheel on 2 pieces of wood, so the hub sat on it. I'm going to knock through on the sleeve inside and tap the bearing out the other side, then spin the wheel over, and I should just be able to knock this bearing out. As you can see, I've got this one moved, so it's giving me a bit of clearance so I can get in and knock the other one out. Right, we'll get that done. I've just been up to the bearing shop because I usually fit Timken bearings, but they didn't have Timken in the size I needed for this. But I've got 2 bearings. They're Koyo, they're Japanese bearings, very good quality, as good as Timken. Yeah, Koyo 623 RS bearings. So then I should be putting those back in here. These are the Indian whatever. Right, we'll get on and knock the bearings out, and then we'll put the new bearings in. Here's our old bearings. That one's not so bad. That one, yeah, just one side was feeling really rough. Anyway, we're going to put the 2 new ones in, so put those down here. There's my 2 old ones, here's my 2 new ones. Right. Clean any of the dust or crap out of it, so the bearing seats correctly. Okay, nice new bearing. What I use is a socket that's just a fraction smaller than the outside of the bearing, so it means I can tap it in squarely. Just move that around so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I think so. Set on. Yeah, it's set on the disc, on the bolts of the disc, so it's okay. fully in, you can hear the tone change as you're knocking it in when it's fully home. It's got a solid thud to it. Like that. Right, spin the wheel over. And it was sat on the studs here, which is doing no harm whatsoever. It's not touching the disc or the ABS ring. But the other side, you've got the cutout here where the speedo sensor sits in it. So you need to put pieces of wood that's going to sit across the hub. So just get that lined up. See the wood's in. I don't think you can really, yes you can, there you go, look. Just either side of the hub. So I'm not going to do any damage. Right. Now this is the spacer. Now I'll show you when we put it on. You must torque wrench the wheel nuts on these, because there is a problem with these. If people's been dogging them up dead tight, it actually crushes this, and then it puts too much pressure on the outside. It puts too much pressure on the inside on the bearings. It's not free running anymore. The idea is the spacer just sits on that like that. But if you crush this, it reduces it, not by much, but then when you tighten the nut down, it's trying to push this part of the bearing through the inner, which obviously it can't. All the pressure's on the balls of the bearing, so just be careful. So we clean this out. It can be not difficult, but it sounds like a major job when you're trying to explain it on a film. When you're doing it and I'm not filming, it's a few minutes job, to be honest, and you just do it naturally. But when I'm trying to explain it, it sounds overly complicated, but it's not. But I just don't want you making any mistakes. Alright, put a socket on the edge of the bearing again. Tap this in lightly to get started. Yep, that's nice and free. Yeah, lovely. Dust seal back in. Right, we'll get the wheel down there and get it lined up and built back up again then. Right, got a spacer in the wheel. The wheel's more or less central. Got a speedo drive on here. Lift it all up into place and slide the axle in. Line it up. That's it. This here, this axle, you should better slide that in with your hands, not thrashing it with a hammer. Right, push that in, and you'll see the inner part of the axle will come up against the drive. That's all okay, that's all okay. That spins lovely. Around this side. washer on the axle, the nut, just get the torque wrench. Like I said, this needs to be 70 Newton meters, not dogged up. You can't move it anymore because it'll crush the space in between the bearings. Where are we? 70 Newton meters. Got our 16mm spanner to hold the axle in place to the side. There we go. Spins nice and freely, no friction. Beautiful. Right, let's put a caliper back on. It's a good chance for you to check your pads. Still good as new. Yeah, lovely. This down again. Not that it's going to make any difference to the caliper or anything, but let's give it a wipe round. That you can put the piston back, but that should slide back on anyway, which it has done perfect. I always spray the bolts with this, it's copper grease. I think Royal Enfield probably Loctite them, but if they're torqued up, I just don't see the point. Now, these are set at 25 Newton meters. Not on this torque wrench, it isn't. Right, that's a smaller torque wrench for this. 25 Newton meters. Right. Pull them down even. 25, 25. Correct torque, not going to come undone, you're not going to strip the threads. Your ABS sensor, that's clean off. This side of the fork's on the inside, that's my preference anyway. Just slots back in the hole. Screw that in. I don't really have a torque setting for that because it's only plastic. So just above, hand tight. There we go, more than enough. Right. All we've got left to do is tighten this. Now, I'm going to set that 12 Newton meters. That's 11. Another thing, don't over tighten this. If you over tighten this, you're going to crack it under here. There we go. Tight. All you've got to do is pump your front brake lever. There we go, pressure's back on the pads, nice and free, stop. Well, let's double check. We've got this tightened 70 Newton meters. That is only plastic, so just above hand tight. We set the caliper bolts torqued 25 Newton meters. The bolt on the pinch bolt on here we set at 12 Newton meters.